You can watch the Olympics on any television set, or you can watch it live on a Philips.
Exactly 40 years ago, South African athletes attended the Olympic Games in Helsinki. Amongst them, the little-known Esther Brandt, who literally leaped into the headlines by winning gold in the high jump. Also at Helsinki, one of South Africa's best swimmers, Joan Harrison, who took gold in the backstroke. The first and last 2 gold medals won by South African women at the Games. 1960 saw the South African team in Rome, with world champion hurdler Geert crashing out of the Games through a car accident before they even began. Dan Becker took a silver medal in the boxing, and Malcolm Spence a bronze in the 400 meters. But by the time Tokyo hosted the 1964 Games, South Africa had taken its last curtain call on the world sports stage.
Mr. Avery Brundage, President of the International Olympic Committee.
I noticed a headline in one of the papers that I had come down here to ask South Africa to withdraw. I haven't asked the South African Olympic Committee to do anything, and I haven't told them to do anything either, if I had that power, which I don't.
It is the confirmed opinion of eminent legal men and of the South African Olympic Committee that the reversal of the Grenoble decision to admit South Africa to the Mexico Games is a clear violation of the Olympic Code.
But South Africa was out, and the athletes who rose after that were never tested in the ultimate competition. Instead, forced to compete in smaller and smaller arenas until eventually South Africans were the only competitors for South Africans. No matter how great their achievements, for the athletes of the last years, there was no glory in being the best in the world when no comparisons could ever be made in the Olympics, the Games. But even without South Africa, the world still turned, and eventually a different day dawned. The day came when South Africans were invited back to the international arenas, welcomed back with open arms.
Because really, I think it's an important day, not only for the Olympic movement, also for sports around the world. I think it's the beginning of a new step, and I would like to see very soon athletes and players from South Africa taking part in the major sports competitions around the world.
Hola, bienvenue. Welcome from Spain's principal port, Barcelona, a gateway for culture and commerce, reaching back to its days as a center of trade for the Romans and Greeks. A dream since 1926 is fulfilled as the 25th Olympiad gets underway in friendly Catalonia.
Inderdaad, wat 'n groot eer om u welkom te heet in Barcelona, die stad van teenoorgestelde eenheid en die mystieke Mediterrane mense. The team here welcomes you, or as they say in Catalan, benvenu. Welcome with us. Martin, my suggestion for the folks out there at home is to keep the t-shirts handy, because I promise you it is going to be a very emotional odd 3 hours.
Yes, I think so, Arnold, but tears of joy. I think we're about to realize the enormity and magnitude of the whole occasion.
Dit is beslis so hou van hier gaan ons amper. Met ons landse terugkeer na internasionale sport vroeër vanjaar, het dit 'n deur vir ons oopgemaak met spinnerakke van 32 jaar daar gespan. Soms het die deur weer amper toegeslaan, maar die onmoontlikheid gebeur. Ons is terug en die span op vlug SA 9264 vanaf Jan Smuts na Barcelona kon dit skaars glo.
Sunset over Kempton Park on Monday, the 20th of July, 1992. And at Jan Smuts Airport, the symbolic lighting of a flag, as South Africa said farewell to its Olympic team of 97 athletes and 23 accredited officials. The president of the National Olympic Committee of South Africa, Sam Ramsamy, is also the general manager of the team, which boarded a special SAA flight to Barcelona. High above the equator, Mr. Ramsamy held an impromptu press conference, while the athletes reflected on the most exciting journey of their lives. Some just dreamt about it. The Lobombo touchdown was at the magnificent new airport built to handle the 1.5 million people expected to visit Barcelona during the 2 weeks of the game. Mr. Ramsamy led out the South African team representing 19 sports and competing at an Olympic Games for the first time in 32 years. Kobe, the Olympic mascot, was there to meet them. Barcelona, a city of some 2 million people, a city of statues and spectacular fountains, of Gothic architecture and a Mediterranean climate. High above the city, the Costarola television tower, and on the Plaza España, the International Broadcasting Center, home to 9,500 radio and television personnel from 172 countries. A working home, too, for top sports, whose team of 25 have set up tons of television equipment to relay over 100 hours of coverage. The office area. Sound. And pictures. The videotape recording and editing area, and an excited producer. Computers for results and every other imaginable bit of information. And then the makeshift presentation studio. In the broadcasting center, a massive conference hall for regular media meetings, translated into the 4 official languages of the Olympic Games: Spanish, Catalan, English, and French. Benvengut, welcome to the Olympic Village. It will house some 14,000 athletes and is situated down at the waterfront. 2 of South Africa's athletes, Myrtle Botner and Karen Botha, could hardly believe their good fortune.
Where we are standing at the moment is where the athletes get their accreditation, and it is absolutely fantastic to see the different countries' sportsmen come in, and it's just wonderful to be part of the Olympic family.
Dis wonderlik. Dis regtig. Ek dink dit een keer in 'n leeftyd geleentheid.
So, beautiful Barcelona is looking at its very best for the most momentous event in its 2,000-year history.
And we'll be back with more from the 21st Olympiad in Barcelona right after the break.
You can watch the Olympics on any television set, or you can watch it live on the new generation Philips Mark II with 8-watt two-way sound. See the full range now at your Philips dealer. More Olympic action will follow.
Now the International Broadcast Center is on the left. That's where we sit. Welcome back. Emotional memories of the historical Indian and West Indian cricket tours and the World Cup come flooding back as we wait now for the greatest sporting show on earth.
And now a team is at Barcelona. Archery, 288 arrows shot from various distances over 2 days.
I never believed that we would be participating in Barcelona, and suddenly you sort of, can you say, you just suddenly get a fright and suddenly realize you've got to get your act together again.
Athletics, the senior sport of the Olympics, and one in which South Africa has several chances to reach the finals of events, and a few chances to gain a medal.
Ek het maar altyd gedroom dat ons eendag internasionaal kan deelneem. En eendag is vandag. En my mikpunt is basies om net aan die Olympiese Spele deel te neem. Nie soseer internasionaal nie. Met elke ou het maar sy mikpunt. En vir my vir die Olympiese Spele. En ek sal baie graag 'n medalje wil huis toe bring.
Now I've learned a very, very big lesson that you've got to go for it. Nobody's going to do it for you. If you want to win, if you want to be a champion.
Dit is weer internasionaal gaan wees, gaan het ondervinding wees, maar ek dink, as jy met selfvertrouwen sal het net goed gaan en ons gaan nie om gouden medailles te wen. Ek dink, hierdie jaar is vooral net om die gevoel te kry en miskien in die finaal te wees, maar ek sien eindelijk uit na 1996 in Atlanta.
Ek dink my eerste mikpunt gaan wees om definitief in die finaal te kom. Want ek dink nie, ek kan het net vanzelfsprekend aanvaar as jy in die finaal gaan wees. Die 25 rond is wat jy moet hardloop en ek dink wat jy op die ouens moet hardloop om in die finaal te kom. So ek dink as ek kan terugkom hierdie jaar met die medaille, dan sal ek net so bly wees, want dan weet ek, as ek dit kan doen sonder ondervinding, dan kan ek die volgende 4 jaar net wees.
Boxing, a sport in which any country can throw up a champion, and a sport which has always served South African Olympians well, always offering at least one medal whenever the green and gold has entered the Olympic ring. And now again, a chance, even a small chance. Badminton, once an English game from the last century, now adopted by the Far East.
Ik denk dat de sportman leert waarvoor hij zijn land zit in zijn land in een ander land. Dat is nooit iets gebeurd. Dat is niet de droom dat nou waarheid is.
In the water, 6 male and 2 female canoeists will compete in the sprint events in 1, 2 and 4-man canoes over various distances, with some very strong, although inexperienced paddlers in the team for a chance of a place in the finals.
It's like any sprint, it's maintaining how to keep improvement as well as keeping yourself to the extra.
It's going to be very difficult. I mean, we've been out of it for so long. I mean, I just came back from Australia, raced a lot of Olympic paddlers and managed to come second, but you see, I normally win because I've normally been in touch with it. If you lose touch, then obviously losing that bit of touch, I'm coming second and not winning.
In the slalom events, the 3 South Africans are dark horses, although the green and gold has a long and strong tradition in tough canoeing events. On the cycle tracks and roads around Barcelona, things may become very interesting for the South Africans, with young riders brimming with talent, as the 4-man and 1-woman team makes it to Spain with a fair chance of a place in the finals. The diving events will see only 1 South African, as the top woman diver in this country was withdrawn due to lack of space in the team. The equestrian events, show jumping and 3-day eventing offer an outside chance of a medal as 4 South Africans take their relatively new horses through their paces.
I have thought about the games. I wake up in the morning sometimes I think, my goodness, Granda, those huge jumps and all those people and just the whole enormity of the game is mind-boggling. But, you know, I've let myself into it and so I'm pushing ahead for it.
The ancient and noble art of fencing, a sport that is relatively small in this country, and 4 South Africans take on the centuries of tradition of the European teams.
everyone is going to qualify to go, because we still have 4 tournaments to go to decide who is going to be in the team. So it's been a dream, and hopefully it will come true.
Also fencing will be the lone modern pentathlete as he fences, swims, runs, shoots and rides against the best in the world.
At Barcelona, I think we must be realistic and hope for a good position, say in the first 20.
The rowers are hoping for a little better than that, however, aiming if not for the finals and the medals, then at least for the petit finale, which sorts out the 7th to 12th places over the 2-kilometer course. Shooting has always been a South African sport, although the green and gold has rarely been seen at Olympic shooting competition, which makes the pair of shotists heading for Barcelona completely unknown outsiders to the rest of the field, and therefore dangerous. Almost half of the South African team will be competing in or on water, and the swimmers make up a large proportion of these. Although with the lack of competition, there are only 1 or 2 who are expected to possibly reach the finals. Synchronized swimming, although contested for many years in this country, is a relatively unfamiliar sport, and the South African pair are international unknowns when it comes to comparisons with the world's best. Table tennis, another sport adopted by the Far Eastern countries and taken to incredible heights of excellence. Excellence which the South African pair will be hard-pressed to emulate, especially with such unaccustomed pressure squarely on their shoulders. The 6 tennis players, however, have long been used to playing under incredible pressure, and the sport is one where the green and gold may be seen on the medals podium, if the players can continue their recent elevation in form and rise to the occasion. Only one weightlifter qualified to make the Olympic team, and on his shoulders rests the hopes of all South Africa's strong men. For wrestling, however, 3 men bear the aspirations of their fellow sportsmen as they compete in the freestyle class against the Russians, Bulgarians, Turks and Egyptians, teams which for so many years have dominated the sport.
Wat ook al gebeur op de Olympische Spelen, die dag van vandaag weet ik niet. Ik zal mijn best doen als ik daar kom, als ik voor de voorrecht heb om te komen. En ik mijn best zal doen, want ik voel dat ik dat talent.
The yachtsmen of the party have, however, perhaps a little more hope of taking home a medal, as sailors in several divisions, from the bigger 3-man boats right down to the small windsurfers, each take to the waves for a series of 7 races in their pursuit of gold.
I've got briefs and information about Olympic villages and processions and stuff, and I think, yeah, that's awesome.
Een skot van die stadion in Montjuïc, hier sluit net hierna weer by ons en 2 biljoen ander kykers aan wanneer ons met Barcelona 1992 hervat.
And magnificent buildings, like the Gran Theatre de la Ciudad, where earlier this week we were invited to meet Jose Carreras, the musical director of the games, the conductor of the Barcelona Symphony Orchestra, García Navarro, Placido Domingo, Montserrat Caballero, Giacomo Aragal, Teresa Berganta, and the baritone Juan Ponce, all of whom will star in the opening ceremony.
I see an extraordinary link between music and sport. And this extraordinary link is due to the fact that music and sport are the best 2 things in the world, in life, to establish a kind of dialogue between people, between different cultures, between different idiosyncrasies, between different ethnic people. So I think that this is the most extraordinary link and the most important one.
The universal games, they were born centuries ago, many in Greece, for all the countries, for all the people. And I am very proud to do it in my city, in my own city, where I was born, for the happiness of the world, of Catalonia, of Spain, of Europe, of the rest of the earth. Our planet, blue planet, so beautiful, is our country, where you born and me. So let us be like the Olympics, universal.
I think the most important thing, the thing that really shows a pinnacle or the highest point in somebody's career is the recognition from the people all over the world. To have the privilege to sing for as many people as possible, it is very important. But it is also important to sing on stage, in the most prestigious opera houses, in the most prestigious concert halls, in the most prestigious festivals, recitals hall. This is altogether what makes this pyramid that we can call the highest point of somebody's career. It is wonderful for all of us to have the opportunity on Saturday night to perform for hundreds of thousands of millions of people. But of course, this is just a result of many, 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 many years of going step by step.
Jose Carreras, echoing the words of Nelson Mandela, that it brings people together, music and athletics. And of course, the athletes at the village have had many, many people visiting them, interviews, meeting the press.
More than you can imagine, yeah. It's been, that village is quite something special, and our opening is very, very special as well. We know that Nelson Mandela popped in and said hello there earlier, and of course it is so exciting for the athletes to be part of this and for us to be a part of it, Mike.
Well, the countdown is getting very, very close to the big moment when we'll actually be seeing and witnessing the action in the stadium.
Well, the action in the stadium is just about right. Let's join them, because our host broadcaster in Catalan is Radio Television Olympique, and the games are ready to begin.